Rick Hancox, and I teach film at Concordia University in Montreal. And I'm honored to honor George Semsel, my thesis advisor, when I graduated with my MFA in film from OU in 1973. I met George in 1968 when he ventured north from New York City to teach in my home province of Prince Edward Island. There, he introduced one of Canada's first university film courses, something which changed my life and had a lasting impact on the culture of the region. Years later, he was invited back to PEI to give the keynote at the Island Media Arts Festival, and this year we'll be back again. When George began teaching at OU in the early 1970s, he beckoned me to Athens to study with him again. I'm apparently his first film student. George has been around so long. After 40 years of teaching, I'm planning to retire next year half-time. Professor Emeritus Semsel taught in the School of Film here for almost 40 years. He helped evolve what was a program into a fully fledged department within the College of Fine Arts. He recently posted online a fascinating and detailed history of those early years, in which he saw the program move from an old house beside Siegfried to a condemned hotel on Court Street. He takes pride in noting that before the move to Lindley Hall, every place the film department was in had to be torn down. Professor Semsel earned an interdisciplinary doctorate at Ohio State University, combining studies in photography and film with curriculum development in higher education. He has a BA in literature from Wagner College, an MA from the University of Iowa's Writers' Workshop, and a second MA in film studies from New York University. In 1984, he spent a year working in the Chinese film industry, then under the Ministry of Culture. His first Fulbright sent him to Thailand, and his second had him teaching modern American literature and film at Shandong University in China. A pioneer of Chinese film studies, Dr. Semsel published the first book on the subject following the Cultural Revolution, and in 2 other volumes introduced Chinese film theory to the U.S. But there's another aspect of George's contribution, and that is his influence on autobiographical filmmaking, what he called in a seminal 1971 Filmmakers newsletter, the personal documentary. During the underground film movement of the 1960s, he had been associated with Marie Mencken and Willard Moss of the Griffin Film Group. So he could parlay this experience into his teaching at OU, where he influenced such personal documentarians as Tony Buba, and indirectly through my teaching at Sheridan College, experimental filmmakers like Philip Hoffman, Michael Boone, and the documentarians Holly Dale and Janice Cole, in what was to come to be called the Escarpment School of Canadian Film. There is now a touring exhibition in Canada of these works, beginning appropriately with the George Semsel film. Which leads me to the 1-minute film we're about to see, representing some 60 or so Semsel films made during his tenure here. Enjoy, and thank you, George Semsel.